Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe.
NXT hasn't so much moved out of its parents' basement as built a bigger, better house where its parents' house used to be, moved its parents into the attic, and then its parents died in the attic. NXT is really good is what I'm trying to say. Sorry about all that death stuff. Point is, NXT is a proper independent, if not dominant, brand right now, which on the plus side means we might not ever have to see Johnny Gargano covering a heel in mustard. But on the bad side, NXT is now susceptible to brand warfare. Between Survivor Series and Worlds Collide, WWE has started to lean into the whole NXT versus model for dream matches. And, while you're taking suggestions, Big Dubs, I have some notes. It's the top 10 NXT versus WWE dream matches we've yet to see. Number 10, Kushida versus Andrade, aka you're gonna see some serious shit. While it may not immediately appear that the world's most deadly Back to the Future fan and certifiable sex boy Andrade have much in common, with Andrade hailing from CMLL and Kushida from New Japan, they actually have a small amount of history. The two men have fought before 10 years ago in the Best of the Super Juniors. Cut to 2020 and both men are at the peaks of their game. Thrown together again, they could create something truly extraordinary. Both men have cardio for days and a strike hold style that carries more than a dash of lucha, but what pushes this into dream match territory is the raw technical psychology the men have in spades. Both are supremely intelligent fighters. Kushida has a savage ability at destroying limbs and striking like an adder on a hoverboard, and Andrade has subtly turned into the most mustache-twirling combat strategist the main roster has to offer. Cunning death at high speed is a tantalizing prospect, and if you throw Angel Garza into the mix, how much more sex boy can wrestling even get? Number 9, Undisputed Era versus Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy, aka the United States of Dickhead, or Shit-Eating Grins the Musical. They're bad boys with good legs, weak hearts but strong knees. They'll elbow you in the face, steal your girl, and slowly dip a finger in your glass of wine. The fucking monsters. Despite their history of underhanded baggery, the Undisputed Era are capable of playing face, especially their Red Dragon Inner Circle, and especially against Rollins and company in full arse mode. Just the kicking though, think of the kicks. Sure, it's not a full Ring of Honor reunion, but hell, Buddy Murphy is more from Morrison's Omega into a pitbull genius capable of standing with anyone from Adam Cole's alma mater. The Undisputed Era are probably the best and most cohesive faction in wrestling right now. Seth Rollins is the paragon of WWE's modern style, and Murphy has all the upsides in the world and a chance to prove it. Hell, why not throw the Authors of Pain into the mix and go full 4-on-4? It might be heel versus heel, but when the wrestlers are this talented, bring on gang warfare. Number 8, Volta versus Drew McIntyre, aka Thick Dads. I could really imagine it as the third Daddy's Home film. Volta is a stern biological dad who just wants you to eat your carrots and help him paint his extensive collection of model tractors. And Drew is your cool stepdad who'll take you laser tagging, then to a cockfight. And they're all going on holiday to the beach. And look, Mandy Patinkin's in this one. Nice to see him on the big screen again. If it feels like I've wasted most of the century, it's because, well, what can you say about Volta versus Drew? They'll batter the deep-fried piss out of each other. The sheer number of slaps would create raw chest energy that could power a Tesla Model 3, not to mention the fact that both men are disturbingly quick for their size. Bellowing and violence and nothing in between. Number 7, Io Shirai versus Asuka, aka the Black Parade. On swift wings come the Angels of Death, and theirs is the Fury. Not only are Asuka and Io two of the most wonderful nightmares in modern wrestling, they have history going all the way back to Joshi Promotion NEO. They were part of a stable called Triple Tails along with Io's sister Mio, the More You Know, and both achieved superstardom in Japan before making the jump to NXT, where both garnered a huge fandom by being basically murder bastards. Io is the new unstoppable psychotic force in WWE, and Asuka having to reach down and rediscover her terrifying mojo to avoid becoming the Empress of yesterday. That just makes me so happy and so scared, but mostly happy, but mostly scared. Number 6, Keith Lee versus Brock Lesnar, aka Chunkpocalypse. Big boys, big beef, boy beef, beef. Over the years, I've had to come to terms with the fact that I may be in love with Keith Lee. He has a frankly dangerous charisma, seems to have a supernatural awareness of camera placement to create the best spots possible, and he fucking pounced Adam Cole off camera once, and it was the greatest of all things. Brock Lesnar is also a super special boy with an entirely underrated amount of physical charisma who is capable of throwing men into deep space. Lesnar and Lee's encounter at the Rumble was a brief but brilliant affair, and it was clear for all people claim that Brock doesn't care about putting over new talent. He gave Lee the goddamn shine in that match. Not only did he play up Keith's size with his facials and ooh, big boy, but he bumped for him. If WWE booked Lee versus Lesnar on pay-per-view, Brock would show up to work for that match. They both possess incredible power, incredible speed, and the prospect of Lee countering an F5 into a spirit bomb is just, I can't, but I must. Number 5, Tommaso Ciampa versus Randy Orton, aka Psycho Killer's Qu'est-ce que c'est. My elevator pitch is this: step up, but instead of dancing, it's mind games. I guess this is more of a dream feud than a dream match. Orton's pace may seem a little, shall we say, methodical for an opponent like Ciampa, but in terms of build, oh boy, a lot of people's homes are gonna get burned down. We can all agree that both men have done their best work as unpredictable, remorseless monsters, and I just want to put both those gimmicks in the same ring. Randy will hit him with an RKO, then Ciampa will kill all of Randy's dogs, then Randy will leave Johnny Gargano's head in Tommaso's bed, who will burn down St. Louis, Missouri to the ground and then make snow Ciampas in the ashes. See, when modern day Randy really shows up to work, there are a few better on the mic or at specific narrative set pieces, and Ciampa is Ciampa, the black heart of wrestling, not her. I just want to see who has the best rope-hung DDT in wrestling. Cause sure, Ciampa really spikes atop of the dome, but like, it's vintage Randy Orton. Number 4, Matt Riddle versus AJ Styles, aka your leg. I really did think about putting Riddle versus Goldberg instead, as there isn't a man alive hornier for that match than Riddle himself, and that tends to make special results, but hear me out, I think Riddle Styles might have it beat. Sure, Riddle Styles sounds like an awful reality show on Challenge, but as a matchup, it plays to the strengths of both men. Riddle will kick you until you lose a birthday, and as we saw at Survivor Series 2017, Styles does his best work against MMA freakazoid who will snatch his Georgia ass up if he doesn't wrestle quick and smart. While it's possibly the least headline-grabbing entry on the list, it almost books itself. Styles doing his best to demolish Riddle's legs so he can't bring out his biggest guns, Riddle using his terrifying Von Erich fortitude to power through the pain and have his knee become Wendy's new husband. Please. Number 3, Shayna Baszler versus Sasha Banks, aka Choke Incorporated. Shayna Baszler is very brilliant, and even though it's been a hot minute since we've seen it, so is Sasha Banks. Anyone remember Sasha versus Ronda? Pepperidge Farm remembers. While Baszler is on a collision course with Becky Lynch at Mania, surely it's only a matter of time before the froggiest horsewoman inserts herself into Shayna's business. And can it be a submission match? Please, that'd be nice. Not only do both women have a PhD in tapping motherfuckers the fuck out, but this is the kind of environment where Banks thrives. Like a bully enraged at the sight of their own blood, the boss tends to lose her mind and start wrestling like it's her retirement match when she's up against someone who can hurt her. On one hand, she starts cracking out the deeply scary spots and Sasha please don't die, but when a Sasha Banks match is cooking, I don't think there's a bigger big match wrestler in the women's division. Couple that with Baszler's almost supernatural badassery, I think we're looking at something really special. Can it happen at a takeover? Number 2, Velveteen Dream versus The Fiend, aka I don't know, but I want it. Like, honestly, your guess is as good as mine. I'm trying to come up with a mood board for it, and I can feel my brain dribbling. So, right, the brief for this match is, I guess, horny clown horror? Like the really upscale erotic parody of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or if sexiness gained sentience but then died and was brought back to life by bad science. Oh, no, you know what the Velveteen Dream versus The Fiend exactly is? It's the Bat Dance music video. Every time I try and think about the booking, I am stumped. Solomon Grundy cornering Prince, who has to use sheer sex magics to fuck his way out of that mess. I mean, it's amazing, brilliant, unfathomable, and we have to move on. Oh God, the lighting, we have to move on. Number 1, Johnny Gargano versus Daniel Bryan, aka 8 stars. Would Dave Meltzer die? Are we ready for what work stallions like Gargano and Daniel Bryan could do if given 20 minutes and told to have fun? I just want to be in a room where both men sit down and talk the match through. When I think about Gargano's ability to thread together seamless chains of creative offense, and what would happen if he had the medium's greatest storyteller in Daniel Bryan to temper some of his excesses and provide a crystal clear psychological narrative, it just sounds like the best day. The two have fought before in a 30-minute time limit draw in AIW, and Johnny Gargano has frequently gone on record to say that Bryan is the greatest talent he ever wrestled on the indies. What more motivation to have match of the century can you give someone who turns out takeover performances like Da Vinci turns out scribbles? If only one match on this list ever happened, then Johnny Gargano versus Daniel Bryan on an NXT takeover would be the one I want to keep. I am setting up a GoFundMe page to make it happen. Let's do this. And that is our list. What other NXT versus WWE dream matches we'd like to see? Let us know in the comments. As ever, subs and thumbs are always appreciated. And to check out our other news, click the links in the playlist.